What's up, family? Welcome to the channel. I'm Harlan D. White. In today's video, I'm going to cover YNAB's 4 simple rules for budgeting. If you've been following my channel, then you already know that YNAB is a tool that I use for budgeting, tracking my spending, as well as reports. However, you do not need to utilize YNAB, the software, in order to take advantage of these 4 simple rules. So definitely stay tuned and let's go ahead and jump into it. You just got to get started. Okay, so in this video, I'll go ahead and I'll list the rule and then I'll jump into the software and I'll show you how I actually implement the rule in my own budgeting life. All right, so rule number 1 is give every dollar a job. Now, this is foundational to all 4 rules because the other 3 rules are going to be based off of this rule, which is give every dollar a job. So I'll show you here in just one moment how I am able to do this within the YNAB software. However, again, you do not need the YNAB software in order to give every dollar a job. And essentially, what this means is that as you get money in, you should budget where those dollars are going to be spent. And really, this is just making a plan for your money before you spend it. So let's go ahead and jump over into this example. And as you can see right here, I actually have $322.82 left that I still need to budget for. And so let's go ahead and give all of these remaining dollars a job. So I already have started my budget and I pretty much have budgeted for all of my categories. However, what I'm going to simply do is this cell phone bill is not due until the 19th. I will actually get another paycheck before this cell phone bill is due. But to demonstrate this, let's go ahead and put this $320.82 within this budget category. And there it is. I have given every dollar a job. And so all of the dollars that I have in my bank account essentially has been categorized over here in these categories in green. Next, rule number 2 is embrace your true expenses. Now, embracing your true expenses, this is an area that I have not done the best job with. And essentially what this is preparing for either future expected or future unexpected expenses. So let me explain. An easy example would be Christmas. Let's say every year you know that you're going to actually spend some money towards Christmas. Well, you don't have to wait until November, December timeframe to start budgeting or setting aside money for Christmas, but you can set a budget earlier in the year. And let's say it's $1,000 that you want to spend towards Christmas. If you actually set that goal in January and simply set aside X amount of dollars each and every single month. By the time you get to December, you will have your $1,000 to spend. So this is really looking at your budget and being realistic about money that you know that you're going to spend. Even if you say you're not going to buy Christmas presents this year, you know that you're actually going to buy them, then you should start setting aside money for those potential items. Another good example that I like to use is car repairs, right? So let's go ahead and jump over to the budget. And this is an area where I have not done a very good job. However, as an example, I've set aside money for maintenance and repairs under my transportation category, and I've set aside $200. Now, for many expenses or potential issues with my car, $200 is not going to be enough. However, I do intend on increasing that amount so that when and if a car repair becomes necessary, I will already have the money set aside for that. So again, this is definitely an area that I have room for improvement in. However, this would be an excellent thing to incorporate within your own budget to budget successfully. All right, so rule number 3 is roll with the punches. And this is by far my favorite rule. And I believe this is the single rule that has helped me to keep a budget for over 2 years consistently now. And let me go ahead and demonstrate what roll with the punches is. Essentially, what roll with the punches is when you go over in a budget category, instead of giving up on your entire budget, all you have to do is find out another category that you can take the money from. So, as an example, well, let's take groceries, right? So, right now I have $108.85 in my grocery category. However, let's say I go to the grocery store and I decide to buy some groceries from, right, groceries, but I want to spend $150. The total amount of my groceries came up to $150, and I don't really have that amount. but I need to make that purchase because the family is hungry and I need to get them food. If I go back into my budget, I'll see that I am over by $41.15. So the way that roll with the punches works is that you technically would want to do this before you went to the grocery store, but oftentimes I don't do that. I'll spend knowing that I'm going to have to find other categories to pull this money from. So in this case, I would just click that. And then I would essentially look to see what other categories that I still have money from in that I can pull money from. Right. And so let's say eating out. So I just want to cover it with eating out, do that, boom. Now my overspending has been covered by taking money from another budget category. And by doing this, you're able to continue to spend within your means and not go into debt. All right. And then rule number four is age your money. And basically, what this looks at is how long have you had the money in your accounts before you're actually spending it. So, the idea around this is that the longer that you're able to keep money in your account before you're spending it, the more likely you're able to get out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle of paying bills. Now, this is another area that I do have some room for improvement in. So, let's go ahead and look at YNAB, and as you can see over here, right now, my age of money is 12 days. And the idea is that I would love to get that above 30 days. And by doing so, you're able to start budgeting a month in advance of when your expenses are actually due. Now, all of this is going to be a process, but I particularly want to focus in on rules number two and four this year, where I want to extend the age of money that I have sitting within my accounts, as well as I want to do a better job of embracing for my true expenses. All right, so those are YNAB's four simple rules for budgeting. Hopefully, you found them helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously. And if you're interested in more content from me around personal finance, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell for future videos. All right, until next time.